You might think once you learn information, you never have to relearn it again, because what's the point of relearning something if you know it already? But let's say you learn all the countries in Europe, and someone could give you a blank map, and you can point to any landmass and be like, okay, that's this country, that's that country. Super impressive, right? But what if the person asks you, hey, recall all the countries from memory? That's it. You don't have the map or landmasses anymore. The thing is, you wouldn't be able to do it because if you learned all the countries based off a map, you use the landmasses as triggers. So you see this landmass, then you have your images, you're like, oh yeah, that's France. You see this landmass, you're like, oh yeah, that's the United Kingdom. And so without the landmasses, without those triggers, you can't recall the information. Yes, you can start naming a whole bunch of random countries, but you don't know how many you have left and which ones you said. Because the way you memorize it doesn't allow you to have the list form of it. You just have this kind of random landmass form. And so this is the case where you would have to relearn all the countries in Europe, even though you know them. Right? That's really crazy. It's weird. Because the way that you need to recall it, you have to memorize the information to match that. And so if you just started off learning all these countries by landmasses, and then you're like, you know what, it'd be really cool just to recall all these countries from memory, you have to relearn it again. Because this is not going to help you recall it when you need to just recall it randomly. But of course, you should always try to maximize the ways you can recall the information. So for me, if I wanted to be able to recall all these countries given a map or just from memory, I would be able, or no, from memory in terms of just like list form, I would have a memory palace. Each country would have its own location, and I would change the landmass into an image, place it into the location, change the name into an image as well. And so now when I see like a map, I'm like, oh yeah, this looks like a ghost up here, ghost, Iceland, boom. But if I just want to recall it just from, random, just a random time, I can recall it because I could walk through my memory palace, and the memory palace has every single country all together. So I know if I'm missing any, if I skip a location, or if there's a blank, it's all going to be in that memory palace. And so it's super crucial for you to really plan out how you want to recall the information so you don't have to relearn it later, because if, probably the first time, depending on how complicated it was, it might suck to learn it. And relearning it a second time is really going to suck, right? So just do that, plan out how you want to recall information so you can prevent relearning information. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.